Welcome back to One Consciousness. This week's message could be quite disturbing for some of you. We have big changes ahead of us, and the horses are asking us to prepare ourselves psychologically and spiritually for what is to come. Many of you are maybe wondering how the horses give us this type of information. They are tuned into Source, the collective, to Spirit, to whatever you would like to call it. The harmonic breath we have referred to it as in previous videos. Many are feeling their animals are trying to tell them something. They are feeling an urgency from them to really get what they are saying. And yes, they are trying to give us so much information right now. And it's really important, if you are feeling that you give them the time to be with them in that deep place where they are able to pass the information they have to you. It won't be any coincidence that they're trying to give you that information. It may well be part of their soul contract to work with you in this time and to help guide you through this process we are all going through. Animals, trees, plants, the soil, everything in life, both animate and inanimate, has a soul consciousness. We don't need to speak the same verbal language in order to be understood. Words are distractions in many cases. Many people get a knowing. They just know, but they can't explain. Many get a vision, whether horses or other animals or nature show you what they mean in pictures, a movie. Some people do get words. Some feel information being transmitted to them telepathically. Not necessarily when they are with their animals, but in quiet times, in stillness. Everyone is different and unique, so it's important to find a way that works best for you, in the same way that we all automatically try to find ways to communicate with other humans more effectively, but maybe not subconsciously. They will always appreciate you being with them in stillness, and it is in the stillness that you start to hear the whispers, often in meditation, in being, connecting your heart by an invisible cord to theirs, always with reverence, as I always say. Information transmission often comes through the sacred part of the heart. So it is important to be in your heart as much as possible. Dedicate time to this practice every single day, without expectation, just asking if there is anything they would like to share with you and building up from there. And before you know it, those layers of information build, the gaps in between start to fill with information, and the meaning of their communication reveals itself in all its glory. If you are feeling it, don't hesitate to go with that feeling and start to listen to them at a deep level. This isn't about everyday needs and wants and so on, although it could be. This isn't about just them helping us with emotions. They have sacred powers and know what is happening at a universal level. They are an active part of the one consciousness, and they are helping all of us right now to consciously understand the massive process we are all diving into this year, 2024. Their messages to each of you may be different, unique, and that is the way it's meant to be, for we each understand in different ways, and our missions separately and together are all unique. Your information will no doubt be different to the information my animals give me, and it is all perfect in the way that it is. I share their recent transmissions to help guide those who it resonates with, but also to show the type of information and the depth of their knowledge and wisdom that they are so keen to share with all of us in these dynamic times. So here is the message this week from one of my horses. She said, I use the word cataclysmic, and this was several years ago she used that word, to signify the extent of the change. It is vast, expansive waves. It isn't only the earth affected by these changes. We are on the verge of a collapse across the world. You will see. Yes, it is soon now. We will see a huge majority of the changes in 2024. And there was a sense there of, you better believe it. The US and UK together, something is going to happen. An event will overtake the earth. It will show who is in control. And at that point, no human will be able to overturn the scale of changes. It will be out of our hands and control. There will be people running in the streets and running for their lives. There will be waves so large that they don't know if they will be able to run fast enough away from the incoming waves. These events, some of them in a smaller scale, have happened already around the world. And yes, she says, there will be more. There will be earthquakes where there haven't been any before, not in our known history, but that doesn't preclude earlier times. The earth has to shake to release all the spiritual energy, firstly trapped in it, and secondly to release the energy of the new earth, which is known as spiritual convergence. The oceans are waiting for their signal to close down the waters for a while. The whales will alert them to these times. All of nature is preparing for the cataclysm right now. We are all aware that we need to be on high alert for the signals to go ahead. So what is going to happen to all humans and animals and nature already here on this earth? She says it will be a variation of things. Our brains don't have the capacity currently to even envisage the coming changes, the scale of them. We can only imagine it so far. So what do we do now to prepare? Increase your vibration by also tuning in to the harmonic breath. This is a frequency of breath we all share together on similar frequency, where we all can find the one consciousness in energy, both format and encoding. We are able to assimilate that coding into our bodies. And yes, it is coming from the sun too. Once we align with that, as we take it into our bodies, when the time is right, our bodies will process the information consciously and tell us what they are doing. Again, we cannot comprehend the vastness at this point in time. The energy is accelerating currently and will continue to accelerate at a faster pace. It is about to get very uncomfortable for those in the third dimensional frequencies. April came up as a time when the disparity in vibration will become very marked and very noticeable. Aligning with the harmonic breath will keep you much more stable within yourself. When I asked her again about the harmonic breath, she said it is a meditative frequency, assimilating that breath with nature, lining up with the information in meditation. There are many forms of meditation. Choose which one is right for you. This world cannot go on as it is. We'll end up blowing each other up, and that is not feasible for the new earth to come in that way. It has to be carried out by the higher external forces practiced in the art. There will be safety in the harmonic breath, the tune of nature. You will be ascending in line with the animals and the rest of nature. They will be ascending this year to the 7th dimensional, way past the majority of humans, but still this is for this year. They will lead us forward, and there will be a veil of protection over you. We have spoken before of this capillary-like structure that covers the earth, creating as an electromagnetic force that integrates the solar flares and the sun's energy in general. This is invisible to the naked eye. The protection tuning in to the harmonic breath will give us is to also be surrounded by this capillary-like structure. That will make us untouchable by the forces of the cataclysm. The time is here. The time is now to align, she says. She's showing me a very strong, luminous orange light. These changes have been a long time coming. Humans have known about this at a cellular level that was subconscious. It is the animals and nature that can awaken that knowing in them gently. We understand, she says, how that gentle process works and how to unveil it. It is in the knowing you get when you are in our presence, both literally and energetically. That sound of breath, sound frequency, sound vibration, when you can just be around us. The knowing is allowed to precipitate up to your conscious. The more time you spend with us in this way, with reverence, the more this information will arise into your conscious to help open you up for the coming times. This message from her this week, again, is very much a call to action.